So last summer, the Deer Committee recommended bow hunting to help curb the deer overpopulation. Residents complain about the deer constantly, one at almost every meeting. It's obviously a big issue in this city. Would you support bow hunting or culling in the city? Why or why not? And Councilwoman, I'll let you start off since you headed the committee.
That's right, I headed the committee. We had multiple heated meetings. In the bottom line was the committee, with the exception of one person, had agreed that our options had been extinguished. I had people come in from various organizations, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Petiti Gardens, to try to give us other ways that the deer plants that the deer did not like. I found out after I planted all the samples that she gave us that they did indeed like 5 out of the 7. People are very upset. I've gotten emails and calls on my phone. People are upset. They've paid $500 to have their whole entire yard landscaped, to wake up in the morning and find half of it's been eaten. We're a beautiful city, and we need to keep it a beautiful city. I did support the bow hunting. I know that's not a popular decision amongst the PETA people. In my opinion, it would have been, the way I had it written, the ordinance written up, it would have been a very safe proposal. I do want to say that we do have something coming down the pike, working with the ODNR and other surrounding cities, and if elected, I really would like to get that passed.
Great, thank you. Mr. Biasiotta, any thoughts on the deer?
Sure, thank you. I do believe it's a regional issue, not just Seven Hills. We need to work with our surrounding committees. When people approach me with this issue at the door, I have a little phrase, the deer don't necessarily live in Seven Hills, they live everywhere. And if we don't act in concert with our neighbors, it's going to limit the impact of our measures. So other things that I've been learning up on is also, also working with the ODNR, and the issuance of urban nuisance permits. So these are the things that I'd continue to follow up on as councilman.
Thank you. Mr. Tripi, any thoughts?
Yes, thank you. First, I'll make one comment going back. I wholeheartedly believe that there's plenty of people that are far more tech savvy than myself that are over the age of 50. So I will clarify my comment.
Thank you.
The one thing I will say regarding the deer is that we clearly have a problem. There's a lot of deer. So I mean, I don't think we can say there is not a problem. But I don't think I can be someone, knowing that our community is 95% completed, utilized, I would say it would be difficult to go out there and have to do the bow hunting within our community. Working with our neighbors, working with the communities, working with the metro parks and the national parks. I mean, we have to go out there and utilize those resources. Again, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I can appreciate people, when I tell people that I don't support the idea of doing hunting in the city, I get some unhappy looks, but on the same token, I just don't want to trade one semi-dangerous situation for another. And I think that's my opinion on that at this time.
Great. Councilman Trafis?
Thank you. I think there are a lot of issues regarding the deer and possibly bow hunting. In our small little city, I just see too many safety concerns, and we just don't have enough land to do it, in my opinion. And another problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, Caryl or anybody else, I think that birth control is illegal in the state of Ohio.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
But the good news is...
And it's very expensive.
And it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And what we were told recently is that there is a pilot program going on, I believe in the Cincinnati area, where they are allowing deer to be, I think, darted with hormones that stops the process. And what I've heard is that if that's successful, it may be expanded into the rest of the state. So if that's an option, I think that City Council as a whole should lobby the state of Ohio or whoever's involved in making that decision to do that.
Great, thank you. All right, any follow-up? Mr. Biasiotta, anything for you?
No follow-up on the deer, thank you.
Great, Councilman Trafis?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman?
The only thing in the deer with the darting, is like the birth control. It's extremely hard to keep control of who's been darted, who hasn't.
Sure, I understand.
And that's why the birth control was illegal, because they said we can't follow the females around and make sure that they eat their birth control. It's like a girl who you don't want to get pregnant. And then you have to make sure you don't dart the boys, because that's not going to help. And you won't really be able to tell a lot of times until you get really close, and I don't think I want to do that. So,
Thank you.
but I mean, if it's something that does work, I would be more than happy to consider it.
Great.
But I really, like I said, we have something coming down the pike, working with the surrounding communities, and I'd really like to get reelected so we can get that passed through, because that's my passion.
Great. Mr. Tripi, anything for you?
I believe that this is not a Seven Hills issue, this is a regional issue. That's one thing that has to be recognized and understood. This is, if you sit there and took out all the deer in Seven Hills, more deer will come in. So we have to figure out a way to work with our region in order to get this addressed, and that's certainly a big thing, and I'm happy to hear that things are in the pipeline.